What's up, YouTube family? It's your boy Paul. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Paul. As you can see today, I'm representing for my buddies over at the Union County Jail. Heroes for Heroes. Okay, this is a charity that they do for disabled children. They do a 5K run and they raise money. It's a real good charity. So I decided to represent them by wearing their shirt today. It's a good cause. And today we're going to be doing some good food. Crab cakes. Not only are we going to do some crab cakes, but I wanted to put a little different twist on them today. We're going to be frying them up in the pan, but also we got some bacon bits that we're going to be incorporating into the crab cakes. It's just something that was on my mind, and I said we're going to do that today. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing crab cakes. Okay, so what are our ingredients today? Of course, you have to have crab meat. What I'm going to go with, some bacon bits to incorporate into the crab meat. We're going to need 1 egg. We're going to use Townhouse crackers. We're going to use this entire sleeve of crackers. They come in individual packets at your local Costco or BJ's. We're going to crush these up and put them into the crab cakes. We got Old Bay seasoning. We got our granulated garlic. We got our granulated onions. Now, I'm not going to be putting salt into the crab cakes because there's plenty of salt inside of these Townhouse crackers. Now what we're going to do, we're going to fry them up. We're going to use 2 pats of butter. But I don't want the butter to burn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a little olive oil with the butter. Okay, so let's get started to mixing. Okay, 2 important ingredients that I forgot to mention. Of course, you're going to need some Dijon mustard, and you're going to need some mayonnaise. It's going to help to hold your crab cakes together. Now what I've done is those Townhouse crackers, I've crushed them all up. And how do you crush them up? You put them into a bag, you take the bottom of a cup, and you just smash it down. And you get it into a fine powder. That way, that powder can be used, and it's not big bits of cracker, but I use crackers like this instead of breadcrumbs because there's virtually no taste in the cracker, okay? And you taste the crab meat much better. So we're gonna take this breadcrumb mixture. Well, it's not breadcrumb, it's actually crushed Townhouse crackers. We're gonna put that into the bowl and crack our egg. Put that into the bowl. Okay. And season up a little bit. Little onion powder. Little garlic powder. And once again, I pour it into the top. That way I have more control. If I use too much, I just pour it back into the bottom. Old Bay. Old Bay, what I do is I pour it into my hand. And from there, I put it in. Now we take our crab meat. And we're going to throw our crab meat into the bowl. Make sure we get all them lumps out of there. We're going to start mixing this together. But you want to try and just fold it. You don't want the lumps in the crab meat to be taken out. I'm going to put my bacon bits in there because that's what I want in my crab cakes. They say everything's better with butter. I think everything's better with bacon. And one more thing I want to put in there just to make it look pretty. I want to put some parsley flakes in there. Just to put that little green in there. And that's going to make it look nice. Now what you do is you take your Dijon mustard. And when you figure out how to open it, you squirt some of that in there. Take your mayonnaise. And you squirt that in there. All right. Now we mix it all up. You don't want it too wet, but you have to have it enough so that it grabs up all of those bacon bits and all of those cracker crumbles to make sure that everything is mixed well. You know what, while we're at it, we can add a little bit of pepper to this. Nothing wrong with a little pepper in there, right? Mix that in there. As we just building flavors, we mixing as we go. Building those flavors up. Yeah. That looks pretty good. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our fire started. You're going to get that get that butter into the pan, because that's what's going to cook up. But we don't want the butter to burn, so we put a little olive oil in there. And that raises the heat point so that that oil will not burn up. We're going to try and keep some lumps in here. Depending on the crab meat that you get, sometimes it's going to be nice lumps depending on which kind of crab meat you get, whether it's the lump meat, whether it's the back fin meat. Okay, all depends, but that's the size that you want your crab cakes. Okay, start putting these on a plate while my butter is melting. You just want to mold these up, making the size of a hockey puck. There you go. Sometimes they don't stay together as well as we think they should. But once they get that crust on the bottom is going to make sure that they stay together. Okay. I'm going to put in about 4 at a time. Okay. See, my butter is starting to sizzle. Wipe my hands. Make sure this is all over the pan. And now we're going to set our crab cakes in. You don't want the heat to be too high, but you want to make sure that you have enough space in between each crab cake so that you're not steaming the cakes. You want the cakes to be fried up. Similar to what you do with a salmon cake. We're doing it with a crab cake here. And what what you want to do, you want to cook them slow enough that you don't burn them. You also want to make sure that they're cooked on the inside. Now, a lot of people do their crab cakes in the oven, and that's another option for you, to do your crab cakes in the oven. But for me today, I said I want a quick crab cake, so I'm going to do them on my stove. Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to you when it's time to flip them over. We'll see how they're looking. Okay, let's see how we're doing with our crab cakes. What you want to do is you want to be very gentle with them. Flip them over. There you see you got a nice crust on there. Now that crust is going to hold it together. See that? Nice brown crust on it. It's going to hold that crab cake together so it doesn't break apart on you. Now you're good. All right. They smell incredible too. All right. Looking good, looking good. So what we'll do is when they're done, let's see the second side, you don't have to cook for as long. Did you see that? You hear that crust? You hear that? That means it ain't going nowhere. You were worried about it breaking apart before, but now it's good. It won't break apart on you. So we'll come back when they're all done so you can see the finished product. Okay, YouTube fam, this is the finished product. These are our crab cakes. As you can see, they're nice and done. Looking beautiful. So what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna grab one for you. Let's grab this one. This one looks nice. See that? Yeah. I'm gonna open that up for you. Look at that. Oh boy. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. Let's try a taste test. Looks good. You don't even taste the breadcrumbs. You have a hint of that bacony flavor in there. The crab cake itself is succulent, it's buttery tasting. This is excellent. You really outdid yourself this time, Paul. I gotta take another piece. Fantastic. You've been in the kitchen with Paul. If you like this crab cake and you want to try it out, give me a thumbs up. We'll send you a recipe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell on the side of the subscribe button. That'll tell you anytime that I got a new video up for you to try out. Okay? You've been in the kitchen with Paul. First of all, always keep God in your life. Love your family. And of course, love yourself. I'm Paul. Peace, y'all.